Alaska. It may seem like a galaxy far, far away to folks down in the lower 48, but I will have you know that the Star Wars fandom here is some of the strongest around, especially the local 501st, which boasts an admiral who's pretty good at shipmaking. Recently, he brought his favorite hunk of junk to Star Wars Celebration in Chicago.
Used 3 sheets of polycarbonate that I got at a Home Depot. There's some 6-inch sewer PVC, a dryer vent.
It looks like a large-scale model of Han Solo's famous Falcon.
A bunch of craft foam, a lot of hot glue, and Bond's cement.
But take out this center compartment and you can take it for a spin. Brian Peterson of Eagle River built this glorious go-kart and brought it to Star Wars Celebration. Face off against one of the best pilots on the East Coast.
Are you talking to the loser of the race?
Oh, see?
That would be Jimmy Marsney of Brooklyn, New York. With a Porg flattened on the windshield and 2 more stuck in the engines, he drives a souped-up land speeder. Before the race, Jimmy gives Brian the edge in a number of categories, including, well, stability.
He's pretty stable. I'm a little unstable. Ask my wife, she'll tell you.
With the Vader helmet on and a thumbs up,
Come on, let's go!
Brian takes to the starting line and fires up the engines. He's got the advantage around the turns and quickly takes the lead.
It has 0-point turns, so I can go into very tight spins. I can drift.
But Jimmy's ride can do 30 miles per hour on the straightaways, and he eventually catches up.
So we kind of have the Fast and the Furious Star Wars, and it's absolutely a lot of fun.
This is going to be a close one, but winning really is secondary. These guys just want to put on a show and bring smiles to some young faces, something Brian is pretty good at back home as a member of the 501st Legion's Alaskan Garrison. Brian says these bad guys doing good lead the Legion globally when it comes to hospital visits. Oftentimes, they're there to brighten the spirits of a child that's sick or injured. They do it at least twice a month without fail.
Seeing the looks on little kids' faces, even adults or, medical providers, first responders, it's just an absolute joy to be able to do that. That's really what I do it for.
A few years ago, Brian was encouraged by his good friend Jake Sloan, aka Alaska Vader, to join the ranks.
Darth Vader's one of my best friends, so I didn't want to, be a minion, so I chose to be an admiral so I could talk back to him and have a higher chance of success at not getting force choked.
And like Vader, the Force was strong with Brian. For the sake of the story, we'll give Brian the win on this one.
Nice job, Jimmy.
Where's the champagne?
While Jimmy got a priceless consolation prize.
If nothing else throughout all this whole thing, I made a good friend from Alaska this trip.
Absolutely.
We should mention Brian is a lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army, currently stationed in Washington State. That is where he actually built the Falcon. His fellow 501ster Jen Wallace flew in from Alaska, and the two of them then drove the 2,000-plus miles from Seattle to the big celebration in Chicago. In Alaska, I'm James Gaddis.